Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. As of right now, I am at this place called Cigar International near La Cantera, and I am trying to enjoy this Monte Cristo. So, anyways, it is this first cigar that we've had, and the reason I'm here is because originally it started as I wanted to see about buying my dad a few cigars for Christmas. I may not buy him a cigar and I may buy him something else, but regardless, we're here. And I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this right, but at the same time, I have no clue. Anyways, so what today's episode is about is pretty decent. What today's episode is about is when to actually enjoy life, or when to actually sit back. And you'll get mixed reviews about this, but again, this is my opinion, right? That's all this channel has ever really been. It's all just been about my opinion, right? So, in my opinion, I don't know how to enjoy a lot of things. I don't know how to sit back and just go, and just decompress. And what that leads to is it leads to feeling like you're working towards something, and you're trying and you're going and you're not really you're getting results. You're doing what you want to do. You're doing what you feel like you need to do, but you're not really satisfied because it's hard to sit back and actually enjoy, like, hey, I did this, or hey, this is how my life's going. Like right now, I make between $8,000 and $9,000 a month. After taxes, that's about $6,000. Because I get paid about $4,000 a check, and it takes out about $900, about $1,000 per paycheck. And then I have my other paychecks that come in. Right, I get paid. How it's lined up, I get paid every 2 weeks from each job, but it's lined up to where basically every Friday I get paid. Right, so as of right now, I feel like if there's anyone in my peer group that can celebrate, it's me. The difference is that I don't really, right? And I feel like celebrating is taking your foot off the gas, and it's feeling content in where you are. Or it could be something as simple as really what I do, right? And what I do is I try to enjoy small things, and it's very hard, especially with my schedule and that I work so much. I'm off today, right? But it's kind of hard to sit back and go, okay, let me go X, Y, and Z place, because I have family that I try to take care of, the dogs I try to take care of, my girlfriend that I take care of, myself. And I'm always thinking about other people. I'm always thinking about my dad. I'm always thinking about my mom. I'm always thinking about what they need, or what my mom needs primarily. Because I view my dad a little bit more as an independent person that can figure it out, right? Is he? I wouldn't necessarily say that, but he's a man, right? If anyone should be able to figure it out, it's him. This actually isn't bad. It is a little earthy, right? But it's a little lighter than what I would have thought. Maybe a little hint of cream. Anyways, who gives a fuck? Let me take this off. At the end of the day, I'm gonna have lung cancer. Anyways, kind of tastes a little coffee-ish, like. Oh fuck! I have too much. And by inhale, I mean. So apparently, the thing with cigars is you don't inhale it like a cigarette. You just puff it in, take it in, and let it kind of marinate on your tonsils and in your mouth, and then you just blow the smoke out. And it's the favorable part of the cigar is more the taste that it leaves in your mouth. And honestly, this one's not bad. So anyways, primarily, I think that the time to celebrate, it's not anytime soon. The reason being is because too many motherfuckers celebrate about being mediocre. Now for me, I'm closer to $10,000 a month hourly than I am $5,000 a month. But a lot of people, especially my age, aren't clearing $3,000 a month. They're not clearing $4,000 a month. They're even before taxes, they may be clearing $3,000 a month. Before taxes, they may be around $4,000. Let's just say they're after $4,000 or right after $4,000, $4,200, $4,400. Sure, but I'm double that still. I think the primary thing that I'm trying to say is that too many people will do what I did, right? In the very beginning, when I was in sales, and I made around 13,000 in my first month by myself. Let's just say 12.5, and we'll stick to that in the future because I'm pretty sure it was 12.5, 12.6, right? Maybe 12.4. Making 12.5 in a month, right? For me, that was, oh my god, because that was in one single month. It was almost the entirety of what I made at Frost, because I was only there for three and a half months. And so what I started doing when I hit that the month was I started going out and I started partying and I started going to clubs and strip clubs and all these places, right? Because for me, I was like, I finally did it, right? Now I finally found a job that I'm gonna earn over $100,000 on the year for. I know how to do sales. It's it may be up and down, but because I know how to do it, it's not gonna be up and down. And I was wrong, right? Because I'm not fucking Jordan Belfort. I'm not all these fucking guys, right? And so, for me, I started celebrating too early. But the thing is about a lot of people my age, a lot of people even in their 20s and 30s haven't made over $10,000 in a month. For me, if you want to celebrate, you have to clear $10,000 in a month, right? Because you're doing something that not everyone does. But in addition to that, you have to be an individual that tries, because you don't just fall into that bracket, right? Now you may over time, but not at my age. At my age, that doesn't happen. That's not something that a lot of people do. Some people do it, especially outside of America. Some people may do it. Some young entrepreneurs may do it in America as well. But not a lot of people do it. I am kind of digging this, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just afraid that I'm not smoking it right and it's gonna start fucking because it's windy, it's gonna start losing its flame. And anyways, fuck it. So till the day I die. This may be the box that I buy my dad, but I feel like I gotta try a few more. And I got to Christmas. I mean, fuck, it's not like it's a few days away, right? I may just buy him one of these for Father's Day and ask him if he likes it. So, primarily, what upsets me a majority of the time is seeing people, again, celebrating their mediocrity, which goes back to celebrating you graduated high school, even celebrating that you got a fucking associate's degree. I mean, if you want to celebrate, I think bachelor's is the minimum, right? Making 10 grand in a month, because overall that puts you in a 6-figure bracket. That may be something to celebrate. But so many people are so content in life that I make 4 grand a month, I make 5 grand a month, I have a house, I have whatever, right? You may be like buying a house, especially in this market. It's getting more and more difficult. But for me being, if I had my current role and wanted this as a career, I could buy a house right now, especially with the amount of overtime I hit. By the end of the year, when my lease is up on my apartment, I'd be able to move into a house or I'd rent out my apartment for however long to my friend, and then I'd buy a house, right? But because you can't really ever trust people, I wouldn't do that. I would wait until my apartment was done, maybe move into my house at the beginning of September. And with all the thousands that I'm saving per month, just fucking, if I have to, just fucking pay the rent, whatever. It's not like it's a fucking big deal. So, the primary thing is that at my age, it doesn't really need a life, but maybe a little. At my current age, I feel buying a house at 19, that may be something that I would want to celebrate. That may be something that is worth celebrating. But maybe having 4 cars is, maybe having my own apartment, maybe doing all that. But even when I got into my own apartment, I didn't celebrate. You know why? Because so many people, even people my age, have an apartment. Now, it's not something that I would say is as common as fucking, just put your hand out and talk to someone that's my age and all of a sudden, all of them have a fucking apartment. It's not that common, but it's something that people have. There's no smoke that came from that. Anyways, so I think that the primary thing is that so many families are mediocre. So many families are those families that have 1, 2 cars, maybe. Fucking tore my lip before this spat out some skin. Anyways, so many families are the families that have 1 or 2 cars. The majority of them have 1. Maybe if they get higher up, 3. And for me being 19, it's not something that I'm trying to showboat that I have 4 cars and I'm 19 or whatever. Even though it is and it isn't. The reason being is because in comparison to a family or the people that have families, it's something that they have hidden costs compared to me. They have different costs. They have to raise kids. They have to raise, fucking dogs, kids, whatever, school bills, medical bills, whatever bills, right? And I don't have all of those. I have a girlfriend that costs a lot of money, and I have me, right? That has a lifestyle that costs a lot of money, or that at least at the very minimum costs, at the very minimum, at least 25 to 30 grand a month, right? After taxes. So for me, I have to make a certain amount of money per month. Now, I'm not like fucking Mr. Tate that has to make at least $9 million a year to just live. That's not me, right? But so many people say that why would I want to be like that? Because why would I want to have to pay $9 million a year in bills? I mean, what type of life is that, X, Y, and Z? And that may be fine. You may say, why would I want to have that many bills? But the difference is that's a cop-out. And the reason it's a cop-out is because if you had to have that much money per year to be able to pay all your bills, cool, right? But the difference is I think he said per year versus monthly. I think it was per year, right? So the difference is that you wouldn't even live the life that allows you to have that many bills, even if you didn't want that many bills. If your monthly bills were same as mine, $3,000, okay. But for you to be able to make enough money where you can afford to have your bills as $9 million a year is such a wide thing that you can't even grasp. And even me, I can't even really grasp it. But the reason being is because I haven't met a motherfucker that can do that. I haven't met someone that can do that. I've met people that have 20, 30,000, 40, 50,000 a month in bills, but I haven't met anyone over $1 million a year in bills alone as the standard. At least in my opinion, I don't think Isaac's there. I think Isaac's in the 30 to 50 range a month, which at that, if that's 360 to 600,000 a year. So, anyways, excuse me. Well, that was real simple. So anyways, so many people do not want to do the work to be able to even hit six figures, let alone $1 million in a year. And doing $1 million a year is something that I feel personally that is a celebratory thing. Hitting 100,000 in a month is a celebratory thing. Hitting 50,000 in a month is a celebratory thing. There's milestones, right? And your milestone, and personally, in my milestone is every 10,000, right? So 5,000 a month, that was easy. Again, people could do that hourly. I do that on my one job hourly. I do that almost in 2 weeks. But for me, 5,000, okay, cool. You got your feet wet, whatever, right? 10,000, okay. Maybe 15, but I don't really think that that's a celebratory thing. 20, say 20, if you can consistently do 20, sure. 30, and then fuck 40. What the fuck is 40? 50, sure. These things are kind of like anniversaries, right? Or birthdays. Birthdays are some bullshit, right? For me, my next birthday, I'll be in a month, right? No, in a little over a month. And so, to be able to celebrate 20 years, 21 years, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, whatever, fine. But that's not a celebratory thing, in my opinion. I think birthdays are bullshit. The reason being is because you're celebrating that you were able to make it 365 days, not what you did in those days. You're not celebrating anything that is spectacular. You're celebrating the fact that you were able to continuously draw air into your lungs. So, with that being said, that is a mediocre thing. Now, if you celebrated your birthday because your birthday just so happened to be at a certain part of the year, let's just say a halfway point, or let's just say there's those special people, December 31st, right? And you were celebrating something different. I don't think celebrating birthdays is something that should be a thing. I think primarily celebrating milestones on your birthday should be something that, okay, we can do. For instance, celebrating, let's just say your birthday was December 31st. Celebrating that year you hit over 100,000. That could be something that you celebrate for. For me, I'm the type of individual that on my birthday, I will celebrate my birthday by working 12 hours or working 16-hour shifts, right? I'm someone that celebrates by doing work. I'm not someone that celebrates just living. Thank you so much.
Did you want me to close it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So, you have to be the type of individual that does not celebrate mediocrity, that does not celebrate just to celebrate. For me, I may go out, sorry about that. So anyways, for me, in my mind, you can celebrate doing certain stuff, right? Like, but here's the difference. I was 12 when I got this wallet, right? This is my wallet. It's basic, has my initials engraved in it, right? It's authentic leather, it's from James Avery, it costs $250 or $230, some shit like that. Right, now obviously, the thing is I didn't buy it, right? Because I'm fucking 12. My mom bought it for me. And the thing is that if I were to buy it when I was 15 and I started working and I actually had the money to be able to buy it, at 15, I feel like that could be a celebratory thing. But at the same time, what the fuck are we celebrating? We're celebrating that I bought something. When I bought my $1,000 Mont Blanc pen, I had just graduated. I was 17. When I bought that, I could have celebrated and I could have said, fucking whatever. But at the same time, it's a little bit harder celebrating buying something with a fucking dinner or whatever like that. But I could have celebrated that feeling of accomplishment, is what I mean. Not necessarily celebrated like, let's throw a fucking party, I bought a pen, right? That costs $1,000. Whoa, no. Like, for me, it's more like that feeling of celebration or that feeling of like you did something. That possibly could have been something that you celebrated. When I bought my first Yeti backpack that cost, about $300, I could have celebrated. But at the same time, these are just things. I bought fucking 3 more after that. When I took my mom to Ruth's Chris, and I could have celebrated the fact that I was in a position to be able to spend $400 on a dinner with my mom. Just me and her, and I could have celebrated the fact that I could make her feel special or whatever. But primarily in my belief, you have to celebrate things. Primarily in my belief, I don't really celebrate a lot of things. Me having that ability to do that is something that I look at more as, why wouldn't I have the ability to do that? My name's Nathaniel Salazar. I have all these capabilities. I feel I'm one of the most, if not the most capable person in my life. And with that being said, I need to meet more capable people to be able to do something that not a lot of people can do, like running your own business or building your own successful business. So if I'm going to celebrate anything, I'm not going to celebrate that I have an LLC or that I create a business. I'm going to celebrate the fact that, hey, I have a business that not only can pay for itself, but can pay me. I'm going to celebrate the fact that I am able to not run this business for a full year. Then we're going to go to 5 years. Then we're going to go to 10 years. Then we're going to go to 20 years. But celebrating the fact that you've held this thing for 2 years. Like me celebrating the fact that I have my own apartment for 2 years isn't something that's celebratory. It may be something that in my mind I go, I've been able to not only provide for myself entirely, but been able to provide for other people around me for 2 years or over 2 years. That may be something that I celebrate. But 2 years is also such a random fucking timeline that doesn't really make sense. Celebrating that I graduated high school, or celebrating that if someone joins the Army, or if you join the Army or Navy or Marines or wherever the fuck you join, that's not a celebratory thing. I don't know if this is going to fuck with the cigar, but fuck it, let's try. So, I hate them tripping all over myself. Pause. So anyways, it refreshes the palate, but at the same time, it causes that to have more of an earthy taste, which is a little different. So, anyways, it's still hot. I'm just fucking with it. The fuck? Why is my shirt so red? I didn't light it properly. That's why it's uneven. So I gotta fix that. So it tastes pretty decent. This is something that I would smoke again. I'm not a smoker, I promise. I don't like people that are smokers. Primarily, especially if you smoke weed or if you smoke certain things. The reason I'm having one of these, in my mind, I put it as I'm trying it out because I want to see if, even though me and my dad may have different tastes in certain things, I want to make sure that this is a decent thing to buy before I buy it for my dad. But the difference is that I'm not looking at this cigar and going, let me treat myself because I've passed making 5, 6, 7, 8,000 a month on an hourly job. That may be something that a lot of people look at, and especially at my age, go, wow. And I agree. What I've done and what I've been able to do is not something that a lot of people have the willpower or the drive or motivation or discipline to be able to do. Anyone can make 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 a month, 8,000 a month. But not everybody in their mind is willing to dedicate themselves to be able to do that. Those people that make 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 a month and go, that's enough. Those are the losers. Those are the people that you cannot go into business with. Those are the people that you cannot, I would say, even trust to gather an opinion from. The reason being is because if your mind is so small and so closed off that you can't even allow yourself to understand the fuck. What the fuck? This fucking beer is... It's just wet everywhere. Fucked up the receipt. Anyways. If you're going to be the individual that celebrates being mediocre, you should not have the life that people want or people dream of. You should not, if you can't in your soul be the type of person that doesn't celebrate being like everyone else, doesn't think that being more is worth it, or worth your time, or worth your effort, or providing more for your family, because overall that's what it is. If you live comfortably on $3,000 a month, maybe, right? If you're able to give your kids whatever they want, and you don't have many bills, and your house is paid off, and you're older, and whatever like that, whatever, sure, maybe. But if you're someone that is trying to start things, then what the fuck is 3, 4, 5 grand a month really? 5 grand a month is 60,000 a year. Or if you do 52 weeks or 5 grand a month, then you're looking at 62,500, right, for a year. Are you really going to be the type of person that celebrates making 60,000 a year? 60 fucking thousand a year. Whereas me, I'm making over 100,000 a year at this rate. Now, will I continue to do it? No, because I don't plan on doing this for a full fiscal year or full 52 weeks. But knowing that not only do I have the capability to be able to do it, but I have that motivation, I have the drive, regardless if I'm in an hourly job or regardless if I'm in a sales job, I have the ability to be able to make over at minimum 60,000 a year, even in a sales job where you don't have any pay until you do something. Unless you're that type of individual, it doesn't make, even if you're that type of individual, it doesn't make sense for you to sit down and celebrate and go, I did something, or I made something of myself, or I've done X, Y, and Z. I don't care if you're from a broke-ass home, a broken home, a one-parent home, if you've had to struggle, if you've had the water shut off. If you're going to celebrate being like everybody else that may or may not have been in the same type of situation, then you're destined to be a fucking number on this earth. Now the thing is I've heard a lot of people say this, right? People that were in the military. Primarily I heard this in car sales, and I also heard it in when I was at Chick-fil-A. I heard people say, this beats the hell out of being in the military and making $3 grand, $3,500 a month while I'm being shot at. And I go, I agree, right? Because I do. Making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month and not being shot at or being in a fucking war zone or being wherever across the world, that beats, regardless of where you are, it beats that, right? But the difference is you're celebrating the fact that you have security and you are in consistent danger. But the difference is that if that individual were to go, wow, I'm making $5,000 a month, this is awesome, that's where I go, what the fuck are you celebrating? Oh, not everyone can. Not everyone makes $5,000 a month, but eventually almost everyone makes $5,000 a month, right? The only thing that you should be celebrating is the time it takes you to do it. If you do it exponentially quick. I was 18 the first time I hit 12, 13,000 in a month. If I wanted to celebrate that I was 18 and I've made 13,000 in a month, I feel like that's something you can celebrate. But me being 30 and making 13,000 in a month, I don't think that that's something you really want to celebrate. The reason being is because as you get older and as you age and as your capability is more and more there, that should be something that not necessarily is expected of you, but is something that is expected of you. Because when you're 18, you can't do X, Y, and Z. You're in limited capabilities. Only certain people trust you. Certain things happen in your life. A lot of things don't happen in your life. And that's why everyone consistently across the board will go, you're only 18, what do you know? And for me, I was an individual that at this dinner with Kay. So at this dinner with Kay, my bill was the highest. I paid $350 for me and Kay. And with that being said, everyone else around the board is 24, 26, 30, 32. Kay is 50, 52, I think he's 52. He just turned 52, yeah. And for me, when I start interjecting or I start building on stories that people have in X, Y, and Z. Everyone says, oh, wow, you've done that? Oh, X, Y, and Z, whatever. That's cool, whatever, right? But the difference is that when they learn I'm 19, they go, oh, I thought you were much older. Oh, well, how have you done this? How have you done that? And then it switches to, I want to interject, or I want to say something. And they go, well, you're only 19. What do you know? And it switches, right? Which is something that annoys me very much, because everything was accurate and everything was fine and everything was insightful when you didn't know my age. But once you learn my age, now it's a fucking problem. Now it's something that you're like, wait, your opinion doesn't matter anymore. And that is the reason why I hate telling my age in my everyday life or to anyone. But the difference is that with this YouTube channel, I am so transparent about my age because I have to have people be aware of who I am, how I operate, and the age I am to kind of like this. Tristan Tate's story about how his friend approached him and asked if he should buy a Bitcoin with his $20,000, $30,000, or if he should buy a BMW or whatever the fuck it was. I think it was a BMW. And what Tristan said was that overall, that it's the same thing with being, or it's the same thing with old and young people, right? With old people, you expect things of them, right? It's like buying a Rolex at 20. That 20-year-old should not have a Rolex. The 21-year-old should not have a Rolex. But the difference is that a 50-year-old should. If you're 20 years old and you have your own Rolex versus if you're 50, people are going to look a lot different at you if you're 20 with a Rolex versus if you're 50. And I think it's the same thing with my life, is that, do I have a Rolex? No. Could I buy a Rolex? Yes. If all the money that was loaned out, if all the money I loaned out to other people was returned back into my bank account, I could buy myself a Rolex. Very easily. Buy it cash, boom. I don't have to be like one of these fuckers that goes to a pawn shop and tries to buy one, or buys one for hella cheap, or buys one off of someone, or buys a second hand, or buys or finances the motherfucker. I think you can finance them. I don't have to be that person. I can be someone that walks into that bitch at 19 and goes, boom. How can I pay for this? You take card, boom. And walks out with a brand new fluted bezel, fucking beautiful green color Rolex. Maybe even something with a little bit of diamond, right? I could be that motherfucker. And that's the reason why I am able to feel like I am not necessarily the utmost expert in things, but why I am more experience and why I am a better person than a lot of my peers, to be able to not only give advice to people, but be the individual that has a say in a lot of things. Because overall, I am the person that maybe not necessarily a lot of people want to be, but I am someone that is ahead of a lot of people. So with that being said, if anyone is going to take advice from a 19-year-old, I feel like I'm the type of fucker that you could take the advice from. And not only is it because I draw from my life experiences and places I've been and things I've done, but because I can draw off of other people's life experiences. I can tell you how it is to do X, Y, and Z, or how to format your business, or how to open your LLC, or how to pay yourself as an employee, and again, create that as a private entity in your company, so that way if you get sued, your business doesn't get affected, and only you are affected, but at the same time, you're getting sued for however much you make per year, which is 40, 50, 60, 70,000, and how to put everything as a tax write-off for certain things, or have a company card. I'm the type of individual that can tell you those things versus the average, not only the average, but maybe even certain people that you would deem or talk to and think, wow, this person's smart, that is older than me, 23, 24, 25, not only am I able to give better advice to them, but I'm able to give advice that is backed up by my experiences or someone else's experiences. And that's because I like to interview people. I like to listen to people. I like to talk to people. I don't like to talk to a lot of people. The reason being is because almost everyone is mediocre. Right? Everyone that I've run into is almost exactly the same, mediocre. But the difference is if you're able to find that individual that not only has the life that you want, but is exceptional in certain regards, maybe not everything, but certain regards, you're able to listen to them and understand how it is that they did the things that they did, or how they were able to overcome certain things, or how they were able to put themselves in a certain position, to be able to be someone that you look at and go, they got something going on, right? Whether that's in their business, whether that's in strictly their finances, whether that's in their niche of their market, regardless of what it is. And for me, because I like to keep my ears open and talk to a lot of people, I am privy to those conversations that whether they're happening with me or not, I am able to gather information from those conversations and am able to add it to my Rolodex of knowledge, my Rolodex of contacts, fucking phone numbers, whatever. So that way, hey, if I have a few phone numbers in my pocket or in my phone that no one ever gave me, but that I heard from other people in case a situation arises and they need something. If my credit were to get shot and instead of being a 765, I went to a fucking 500, I have a person that can help me with that. Someone specifically designed to be able to not only help me with that, but from a specific person that I can deem trustworthy or that I would listen to in my day-to-day life. So with that being said, this isn't supposed to be a long episode, but the thing is that thank you. But the thing is that you have to be the type of individual that not only is wanting more, but willing to go and fucking grab it. You have to be the type of individual that doesn't take the mediocre life and say, this is what I want, this is what I'm fine with, I don't want to overexert myself, I need to prioritize my sleep, I need to prioritize whatever, because overall, it's the same thing. If you want to prioritize the gym, great, because everyone's physical should be of importance. If I see that my gut's getting too big, or I see that I'm starting to get the fucking love handles, or I see that my chest is going away, or certain things like that, I look at that. Same thing with my jawline. My jawline is something that I used to not only practice a lot on, but something that I used to lack a lot of, right? Something that I used to be very confident in. And as I started selling cars, and as I started working more and more, and wouldn't do those jaw exercises that I used to do, I personally started losing it. And I'm kind of bordering on that now. Now you can see that this is coming in, and it kind of blends, especially with the hair. It kind of blends into, it starts looking like just this slanted jaw. And the thing is that is so upsetting. And the reason being is because for me, one thing that I was always confident in is now going away. So what did I start doing? Who told me that? Who said you ain't even got a jawline anymore? Nobody. I told myself. I looked in the mirror one day and I said, what the fuck is this? Same thing with certain ways that my chest looks. And I'm not saying that I have the biggest chest or the best jawline or anything like that, but what I am saying is being able to not accept that. Because I could have just said, I'm getting old, or I don't have time, or anything like that. But not accepting the circumstances that come to you, and instead making your own fucking circumstances, is the most important part of how you gather the life that you want to live versus the one that is given to you. If I personally just did the life that was kind of given to me, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't make 8-9 grand a month. I'd be making 3, maybe 4, before taxes. Before taxes, I'd be 3. I would barely be getting by, living paycheck to paycheck. I wouldn't be able to save my monthly balances or my monthly bills. I wouldn't be able to save that after paying all my bills and after paying everything. I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be in the spot that I'm in. I wouldn't be comfortable. And the thing is that even at my age, or even at my rate, so many people go, bro, I can't fucking do that. How do you work that much? And the thing is that you could, you just don't fucking want to. I don't want to. I don't want to be working 96, 94 hours a week. I don't want to do it. The thing is, but mentally, I have to, because if I'm not making money, what the fuck am I doing? Right now, I'm not making money, but what am I doing? I'm creating a YouTube video. I'm trying to motivate certain individuals that may or may not take a liking to my content. I have, across my videos, I have 120 views. It's nothing impressive, but a few people have taken a liking to my content. I'm nowhere near the status of all these other people that, I think his name's like Ranger Creek something. I'm a subscriber of his because I enjoy his content and I enjoy the things he says. But the difference is that a lot of people, I believe in God. I believe in the thing. Jesus died for our sins. God is the person that created the heaven and the earth. God is the overall most powerful and everything like that. But the difference is that I don't allow religion to be able to dictate anything in my life. And the reason being is because, for me, I live life as if there is no religion. And the reason being is because if you can tell me this, I don't know a single... I don't know, I may know one person, or 2, or 3, I'm sorry. I may know 1 or 2 people that say this. That right before they make a decision, they go, is it holy to do this? And I know 1,000 people. I've known thousands of people, but through my life. But I know 1 or 2 people that go, is this, what would Jesus do? Almost no one lives their life like that. And so with that being said, for me, I allow my conscious self and my morality or my morals to judge where I'm going. I allow my morals to be able to tell me what the right decision is. And you can feel that in your mind and in your body. You can feel that anxiety of, am I about to make a bad decision? Am I about to do something that I shouldn't do? You know when that is going to happen. You know when you're about to make a decision that you shouldn't make. But the thing is that you still, the majority of people still don't allow that to affect them. And before I started in sales, I would have said, well, I feel like everyone has a moral compass, and whether or not they follow it, I feel like, yeah, people that feel like they're about to do something bad, they follow that. Until I got into sales, and I realized that they do. But if there's money involved, or if it's their life, or if they feel like you may have done shit for them, but they don't owe you a goddamn thing because you've made money with them, you've brought them deals, you've done X, Y, and Z, regardless of the relationship that you have, if there is a certain amount of money involved, they definitely have a price. Everyone has a fucking price. But the difference is that, personally, with me, my price is if I'm doing the right thing or not. If I'm not doing the right thing, I won't do it. I don't care if you're going to give me $1,000. I don't care if you're going to give me $5,000. I won't do it. So, if you're going to be someone that doesn't have that moral compass, well then, I don't care how much you win. If you're willing to fuck everyone over, then you don't fucking deserve it. But being that person that at the end of the day, you have integrity, you have the ability to be able to look yourself in the mirror and consistently say, I didn't fuck anyone over. That is priceless. Because so many people, whether you're an OnlyFans, whether you're a boss, whether you're fucking whatever you do, so many people allow themselves to have an opportunity and say, fuck everyone else. I know this motherfucker's gonna do X, Y, and Z. I'm fucking him over or whatever. So, but hey, it's my life. I don't believe in that. I think that that's absolutely wrong. Now, there's a difference. If you go and you find a loophole in something and you outsmart someone, that's personally my thing. But in business, if you go and shake someone's hand and you go, this is what we agreed on, and then you back out of that and say, well, hey, he had a better deal. That's fucked up. You should not be someone that does that. Maintaining your, what the fuck is this? Oh, they put a lemon on it. I haven't fucking drank this at all. If you're going to be an individual, maintaining your integrity versus your financial, I think is not only something that is utmost important, but is something that overall is more important. You having $5,000 in the bank, $10,000, $50,000 in the bank, but knowing that you did something that God would look at and go, that was fucked up. It's hard to live with yourself when you do that. And I know because I've done one thing in my life where I felt, I don't think it's right. That's not that it's wrong, but I just feel dirty doing it. It's a loophole. I feel dirty exploiting it. It may fuck them over, but it may not. And then the only reason I did it is because I made sure that they, not only were they aware that I was planning on or thinking of doing it, but I found a compromise for the both of us, and then we took that compromise. Because I said, the power's in my hand, I can do this, or I cannot do it. Me doing this gains me this and this, and it leaves you high and dry. Now, we didn't agree to anything, but I don't feel morally correct. And people will appreciate that. And people, a majority of the time, will treat you the same way. But because not everyone has an ironclad will, a lot of people will say, thank you for not fucking me over, but in turn, get fucked. And that is not the type of individual you want to be. The type of individual you want to be is the type of individual that not only are you unsatisfied with who you are, but you're willing to put in the work to be able to upgrade your life. You're willing to put in the work to be able to be a better individual, to be able to take care of those people around you, to be able to be the provider, to be able to be someone that's strong mentally, maybe even in addition to that, if you want to be the full package, strong physically. But in immediate, it's easier to work on this than it is this. And I've met trustworthy people that were fat, that weren't in shape. But at the same time, in my opinion, I also believe that by being fat, by being someone that has a fucking stomach, that is a red flag. The reason being is because if you are not disciplined enough to control what you eat, or that you exercise, or that you run, that you jog, that you lift weights, that you do any of that, and you allow your health deteriorate that much, then you're not a trustworthy person. You're only trustworthy up to a specific degree, but if it's going to take you out of your comfort zone, you're no longer trustworthy. And that doesn't mean that you gotta be fucking Andy Elliott and have a six-pack. And how his slogan thing is that, I don't fucking remember what it is. When I was studying him, I did. It was about If you're a salesman, you should have a six-pack. Some shit like that. I don't know. Anyways, overall, you can also not be someone, because if people may be triggered by the fact that I say, wow, this place is kind of comfortable, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, nice. Anyways, if you're gonna be the type of individual that gets triggered at me saying that if you're fat, you're not trustworthy. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule, but people don't know their true selves. Not a lot of people have had to test themselves beyond comfortability and had to have been that individual and that's why a lot of the times, yes, we have people that are on food stamps and on EBT and all this assistance, government assistance, because they have kids, but those people that aren't doing that because of their kids, or because they don't have X, Y, and Z, or because they can't do X, Y, and Z because they have obligations that take them away from that. Those individuals are the premier example with not only allowing you to understand that so many people don't have an iron will, or so many people aren't willing to push themselves outside of their comfort zone, but if you walk into almost any bank and you ask someone what their job is, they'll tell you their job, whether it's at Frost, at Citibank, at Bank of America, at fucking Wells Fargo, fucking Jefferson Bank, whatever it is. You'll ask, how much do you get paid as a teller? And they'll go, 20, 21, whatever, right? Those people that you ask them, and you go, is this your only job? They'll go, yeah. Those people are losers. Because you're telling me that by making 40 hours at 20 an hour, if you feel that that's enough, that $800 a week before taxes, which at 800, the thousands around 250 to 250, 200 to 250. Let's just go light, say 200. Then that means that it is every $200 is $50, which is every 100 is 25. So that means that after taxes, you're looking at, what the fuck are you looking at? Every 100 is 25 and every 200 is 50. So that's 200 taken out of every 800. 600. So then you're looking at $2,400 a month, maybe 25, only 600 a month. No, $2,500 a month. If you're comfortable with living at $2,600 a month, and it covers your bills, and you're not trying for more, then you got a fucking problem. I think primarily if you're going to be an individual that not only is capable, the best way to look at it is this. If I had to create a game character, right? NBA 2K, right? Do you want your character to the character that shoots that fucking three-pointer to win the game? Do you want it to give it to your 90 overall, or 87 overall, or 85 overall, or do you want to give it to your 99 overall? You want to give it to your fucking 99 overall. How do you get a character as a my player to be a 99 overall? Or even as a regular NBA player, how as an NBA player can you make sure that your rating is a 99 overall in NBA 2K, right? You have to be able to put in the work. It all comes with work. You have to practice your three-pointer. You have to practice your free throw. You have to practice your fucking poster. You have to practice your dunking. You have to practice every fucking aspect of your game. And if you're going to be that person that not only is trustworthy enough where you as an individual that's playing that game wants to pass it to that 99 overall player to be able to make that three-pointer to not send the game in overtime, but to win the game. If you're going to be that individual, you have to look at, why am I giving it to this person? Well, it's because of the rating. Why do I trust them? It's because of the rating. It's not because I fucking personally know them. It's because of the rating. And then you have to look at life the exact same way. Why would I trust someone to win that game on a 3-point shot if they're an 84 overall versus a 99 overall? And if you're going to be that individual that... If you're going to be that individual that allows yourself to be psyoped into what everyone deems as a normal thing. Same thing with sports. San Antonio, fucking everyone goes crazy, especially right now because we're in the finals. The Spurs are in the finals. I don't give a fuck. The reason being is because the only time I give a fuck about the Spurs is if I'm betting on them. If I'm betting on the game because it has that ability to make me money. I don't care about any football, any baseball, any basketball, any hockey, any golf player, anyone, unless I'm betting on them, which means there's money involved. And if they have the opportunity to make me money, that's what I care about. But everyone is interested in fucking basketball right now. Why? I had this person, and she asked me, she was like, "Are you going to watch the game?" I was like, I may, but I got to bet on it. She was like, "Well, why do you have to bet on it?" I go, "Well, because then it's not interesting." She's like, "Oh, you're not a Spurs fan?" I'm like, "No, I'm not a fan of really anything." She's like, "Well, why is that?" I know a bunch of people that are fans of sports. I'm like, "Yeah, but at the same time, they got fewer problems than I got." And they're like, "Oh, what's wrong?" I'm like, "Nothing's wrong." But it's the fact that I don't allow myself to be... Sports is a peon thing, unless you're playing it. If you're playing it for millions of dollars, then it fucking matters. That is your life. That is the way you live. You have to train to the utmost physical condition that you possibly can be at peak. You have to be the most prepared player. You have to try. But you have to take it seriously. But if you're going to be the average fan that sits down on your fucking couch and eats Doritos while watching the game, I used to be that person. But then I stopped being that person. And you know why? Because I couldn't fucking pay my bills. I had to choose between eating and getting gas. And because I was that person, I said, what the fuck am I going to do with sitting down every Sunday and watching this fucking football game? What the fuck am I going to do watching this football game every Thursday? Now, I'm not saying that everyone that watches is just a fucking peon. But what I'm saying is that if you don't have your shit in order, if you're not the person that everyone can call on to help them, then there's no reason why you should be watching that game. If you're not making thousands of dollars per month, if you're not saving money per month, paying your bills, helping people, doing all that, then there's zero reason why you should watch that game. At least for enjoyment purposes. I personally, I don't like people that watch sports. I can tolerate them because it's such a common thing and not everyone thinks the exact same way as me. But I don't really like them, and the reason being is because if the biggest thing in your life right now is the fact that the Spurs are in the finals, then you're a fucking loser. Now, if you're making 10, 15, 20, 30, fucking $50,000 a month, then sure, go for it. Watch the game. If you're in sales and you just want to let loose and decompress and whatever, sure, watch the game. But the difference is so many people are not like that. So many people don't have that mindset. So many people are not in that position. So many people are scraping by on their bills. But if their girlfriend or boyfriend left them, primarily we'll say girlfriend because of a guy. Right? That if their girlfriend left them, or whoever was helping them with the bills stopped helping them with the bills, if they would fucking drown, or they have to have a roommate because they have to afford the rent, whatever like that. If that's your life, then there's no fucking point in you watching the fucking game. Now, if you're going to be the individual that, again, you got shit in order. If someone needed or if you wanted to buy something fucking $10,000, you could buy it. That's ain't necessarily saying you could comfortably buy it, but you could actually fucking buy it. And then you want to celebrate and you want to fucking watch the game by all means, go for it. If you're comfortable, if you have all the things you want in life, go for it. But if you're just the average person like everyone fucking else, there's no fucking point in you watching that game. And regardless of who you are, I don't care if you're making $50 million a year, $100 million a year, $1 billion a year, regardless of who you are, it should not be that fucking serious when you're burning shit, you're rioting, or you're fucking crying about who won the game or who lost the game. Now, if you put your fucking 10,000 on the game, and that was your get rich or fucking die trying, I can understand why you may be a little distraught. But for you to upset traffic, for you to be in the middle of fucking San Antonio fucking blaring your horn, going crazy because Spurs won a fucking game 3 or game fucking whatever, then you're a fucking loser and a peon, and you don't fucking deserve, and that goes back to my last video, you don't fucking deserve it. You don't deserve to be ahead. You don't deserve to be past everyone. You don't deserve the things that are happening. You don't deserve what people strive for. And primarily, you most likely live that life that people would not want. People would not read 10 different people and go, I want that one. I want to know about this guy. If you're that person that's rioting about who fucking won the game, you're not that person. You're not. You're everyone fucking else. You're a fucking normal. So, I feel like I'm overburning it, but fuck it. I'm not trying to fucking be here for another fucking 3 hours. So, again, the difference with me is that, one, for me, it takes a lot for me to be satisfied. It takes a lot of hard work for me to be satisfied. It takes a lot of hard work for me to want to listen to you. You have to be someone that is exceptional. You have to be someone that has me. I have 4 cars. I make again on track to clear 6 figures. I'm 19. Will I be 20 by the time that I hit 6 figures? Yeah. But if you're going to be someone that I personally want to listen to, you have to be over that. If you're going to be my age, then great. And you want to be over 6 figures. But if you're going to be 50 years old making $120,000 a year, you're not someone that I would go, what does that guy say? The only reason you would be that person is because you have 50 years of experience in something or 50 years of life. I would just want to ask about some stories. But I wouldn't ask you for advice of, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you make money? How do you do whatever? I wouldn't ask you that. So, if you're not going to be type of individual. Tate said something, and Isaac said something, and they both said the same thing. And what that thing was this. They said, if you are 20, don't play the wise person, because no one wants to listen to you anyways. And for me, I understand. For the average person, I understand. If I hear someone and they're 20 years old and they want to give me life advice, if they primarily lead with that and they go, well, I've been working at fucking Chick-fil-A for the past 5 years, and from what I've learned, I'm turning that shit off. The reason being is because you can't fucking tell me that you in your 5 years at Chick-fil-A, personally I did about 2.5, that during your time at Chick-fil-A that you had something that, oh my god, you should write a book Now, unless you were part of a fucking child, you know, blank. Again, I don't know how YouTube monetization or fucking blacklisting works. So your child blank ring, and you had all these experiences, and you were warning people about the dangers of it and everything like that. And yeah, sure, that's something that's fucking interesting that you have firsthand knowledge in. But if you live a normal life, 1-parent, 2-parent household, you know, whatever, then yeah, at that point, you don't really have fucking shit to say. You still live at home with your mom at fucking 20, 22, 23. You don't really have shit to say. Now, you could be, the individual that at 20, that you have some fucking story. And I may hear you out. But if I hear you out and I talk to you and I realize that you're just like everyone else, but you think you know certain things, you're gonna fucking tune out, right? And for me, I think I know certain things, right? So that may be exactly what you may be thinking. But the thing is that that's why I'm saying I've been here, I've done these things, I make this much money, whatever, because then if, let's just say you're my age, if you are comparing yourself to me and you're not near me, or you're not the same as me, or you don't have the same circumstances as me, then you can't really say shit. Because for me, I take care of people. I take care of people. I take care of myself. And I have experiences that not a lot of people have. So, again, I feel like if you're going to get advice from any 19-year-old, it's going to be me. I'm going to be 20 in a month. And I may not be able to give you advice on everything. If it comes to women, I may not be able to give you advice. Now, I kind of can. In high school, fuck no. In high school, I could coach you if certain things were aligned and you had certain questions and shit. I could coach a motherfucker, and I've done that. I've coached maybe 4 or 5 people into getting into relationships. But me personally, I couldn't fucking do it. Then once I got on my own and I started in sales a little bit, then I was able to take some people home. I was able to, take a few strippers home without paying them. I was able to go certain places and talk to the waitress and take her home and get her number or do whatever and go out on a few dates and shit. But that's something that I had to not necessarily learn, because to be able to learn means you can replicate it consistently. I can't. I've learned ways to do certain things, or I've been able to do certain things, but I wouldn't. That's why I'm not fucking teaching you how to pick up women. Is because I'm spotting. It's like, this is good, this wasn't. Okay, well, this one's good. This woman that I talked to got her, didn't get this one, got this one, then got this one. Okay, then I got this one. Okay, then I got this one. Okay, I hit a fucking streak. Okay, then I didn't get this one, then I didn't get this one, then I didn't get this one. Okay, so for me, if I was like, whoa, women are so easy, oh, I could talk to any one of them and fucking pick them up and shit, without mentioning, like a lot of people do, how much I make a year, or fucking embellishing on what my career is, instead of saying I'm in sales and finance. I make fucking 20 grand a year, or 20,000 a month, shit like that. I do that. I'm sorry, I've done that, and especially with strippers, it doesn't fucking matter, like because they're hoes anyway, they're whores. So the hard part is once they realize, is doing it without paying. That's the harder part, and that's the part that even people I've worked with didn't believe I could do, and then I did it. They're like, I don't believe you, and I'm like, okay, but I did it. This is what happened. I didn't pay anything, whatever, and they're like, well, shit. So it is what it is. Anyways, I'm gonna try finishing the cigar, finishing my beer. I don't have much left in my beer. So, again, I've worked in a lot of places. I've seen a lot of things. I've done a lot of things. I've been around the block. I'm not as experienced as a 30-year-old. I'm not even as experienced as certain 25-year-olds. But when you look at the average person, whether they're 25 or 30, if they've lived a cookie cutter life, something like they never challenge themselves, if you fucking try for a year, you're gonna be, or do certain things, or do different things for a year, you're gonna be well more experienced than they are at 30. Regardless if you're 18 or 19. I don't go out and drink by, because I've always had a fake ID, or because I knew people or anything like that. I've just been able to understand, okay, like when I was 18 and I would go to bars, I had to figure out, how do I talk to people? How do I say certain things in a certain way? That way that they believe I'm older and believe that they don't have to card me. And I've been able to do that at a consistent basis. That way, if you ask, I can say, well, do this, say this way. If you ask how this is done, you're gonna fucking put a little bit of a spotlight on you. You're gonna think, wait, what? You have to say it with some fucking conviction or with nonchalantness. The fact that, you've done this a billion times, you know what you want. I want a Modelo on draft. Oh, well, if you go here and I ask for this, how do I ask for it? So you say this. Shit like that. So, overall, if you're going to listen to someone, try to listen to me. If you have questions, let me know. If you want to personally DM me, my phone number is 210-550-3355. Now, fuck around with me, you're going to get blocked, right? It is what it is. But you could contact me on social media at Nathaniel.Salazar_. The Unfiltered Life. See my other channel. My other channel's not so great. This one, I already have the same amount of subscribers in, and I've only had this channel a week. I've had that other channel a year and a half. Views-wise, the other one has done more, but because of one specific video, if I didn't have that video, this one would probably be better. I'm sorry, this one would have more views. And this is all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be able to put a perspective on individuals to understand that if I'm capable enough that I can turn people's life around, which I have. I've turned their life around. I've been able to help them in so many ways. If I can do that, I've only done it with turning their life around. I've only done it with like 3 or 4 people with just advice, but helping people through situations. I've done that with dozens of people. And if I can do that with any one of y'all, that's all I really care for. So until next time, thank y'all so much for joining me here, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.